Broken borders. That's an oxymoron, something we can't tolerate. Borders of their nature, our definition as a nation and our protection as a country. Broken borders, they don't exist. We can't tolerate them. So let's say from the start that we all in this body, and I know I can speak very firmly for the Democrats, support strong border control. And it must be part, and the first part, of any comprehensive immigration reform.
Want to really see something that said, take a look at what happened.
Hey.
Why this beat so cold?
We will make America proud again. And you try to we will make America wealthy again. And yes, together, we will make America great again.
You just can't make this up. What a disgrace, huh, family? You know, sounds like they all was endorsing President Trump back in the day. They all had a little bit of common sense back in the day, you know. But as Trump celebrates his birthday, they had this No Kings Day, the No Kings protest. It's been one crazy day. Even a No Kings killer assassin out right now. I want to send prayers to Minnesota. I tell you, man. But hey, these Democrats, you know. But look what's breaking the internet, and so many people are reposting this. They even said President Trump reposted this. But in 2005, Nancy Pelosi, I don't know how she's still free, you know. Anytime you look up, inside trading comes up, J6 comes up. There's evidence all over the place of her just in wrongdoings. They should have put this elf in handcuffs a long time ago. Put your hands behind your back. Tons of these California politicians ought to have been walked out a long time ago. Some of the worst. But just in 2005, she slams the Bush administration for not securing the border, for not enforcing immigration laws. She even went as far and said Democrats support enforcing laws, current laws against who came here illegally. Oh, you just can't make this up. Somebody hit me upside the head. This can't be real. Somebody hit me upside the head. Somebody grab a wooden pallet and hit Rick upside the head, please. You just can't make this up. Oh, the hypocrites, frauds. These Democrats, and they said the party's no longer recognizable. The party has left them. People are just walking away in the morning, at night, in the afternoon. I wonder why. But they say he wants to be king. He has too much power. Dictator, threat to democracy, Hitler. Dictator on day one. Day one was years ago. And as you look at all these old clips that, you know, that break the internet, all these old leaked clips, seems like they all sound like they endorse what President Trump is doing right now. They endorse his policies. Yeah. So we're going to get into this, but I hope y'all are having an amazing day, an amazing weekend. I love you guys, family. I really do love y'all. You know, I don't care where you come from, what you look like, what side you stand on, what your skin color is. We got love for everybody. It's one love to the human race, man. I encourage y'all to continue to spread that love around the world as we go through these dark times. As you can see, we do not know what to expect next. It's breaking news every 5 minutes. We are praying for peace. We're praying for President Trump. Happy birthday to President Trump. By the time y'all might see this video, the day might have passed over because we're recording this one pretty late. But we are rooting for America. The America First agenda, you know, and as you can see, we're going to show this real in a second. Trump's net approval on immigration has skyrocketed. Turns out Americans like what they like a president who defends Americans from illegals. And hey, the fake news media had to admit that live on air. And we know how these polls are. So even when these polls are like this, you know it's really skyrocketing. But even CNN, the fake news media, had to admit it. But let's just go right before we show that. Let's go back to the main part of the video. They said even Trump reposted this. Look at this lady here. This heifer would have been walked out a long time ago in handcuffs.
Broken borders. That's an oxymoron, something we can't tolerate. Borders, of their nature, our definition as a nation and our protection as a country. Broken borders, they don't exist. We can't tolerate them. So let's say from the start that we all in this body, and I know I can speak very firmly for the Democrats, support strong border control. And it must be part, and the first part, of any comprehensive immigration reform. It is our obligation as elected officials to keep the American people safe, and our borders are our first line of defense, one of our early lines of defense to do that. Democrats support also enforcing laws, current laws, against those who came here illegally and those who hire illegal immigrants. Yet the Bush administration has refused to do just this. Imagine that for all of this talk about illegal immigration to the United States and going after those workers who are working here illegally, and we should, but we also must have employer.
Did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear that? And now you hear I'm sorry, I just had to pause it right there. I know I should have let the whole clip play through, but let me just, this is heavy on my heart. And you hear all this the same propaganda, the fear mongering, the same rhetoric, especially from the fake news media and this lady here and Democrats. When it comes to workers, and we just played a clip in our previous video of Bernie Sanders talking about this. And we talk about the jobs, we talk about this, we talk about, man, they all sound like they would love President Trump right now. I'm not kidding. You just can't make it up with these frauds. Hypocrites, man, I tell you.
Sanctions. Where are these people working? Why are we not enforcing the law against employers who hire illegal, undocumented people here?
Wow.
The Bush administration has prosecuted only 3 employer-sanctioned cases in the last fiscal year. Only 3 cases. When are we going to take this issue seriously? Mr. Speaker, we all know what we must do. Democrats have long called for strong border security, effective law enforcement, and for comprehensive immigration reform. In all that we must do as elected officials, we have the responsibility to make the American people safer and to make America stronger.
Just can't make that up. Unbelievable. Put this heifer in handcuffs. She should have been in handcuffs a long time ago. But, you know, hey, Trump approval rating, especially when it comes to immigration right now, is skyrocketing right now. And even the fake news media has to admit it.
You know, if we just take a look at the baseline numbers here, this is Trump's net approval rating on immigration. It's gone up like a rocket. Compare now versus 8 years ago during Trump's first term. Look at this. In his first term, Trump was way underwater at minus 21 points. But look at this. He's up over 20 points. Now, in the aggregate, he is in positive territory at plus 1 point on his net approval rating. Some other polls even have it a little bit higher than that. There is no issue on which Trump is doing so much better than he was in his first term, more than the issue of immigration. No wonder the Times has written up the way that he is. Trump is begging for a fight on this because he knows what he's doing so far is working with the American electorate.
Where does immigration rank on issues for him? How is he doing compared to other issues?
Yeah, so I think what's so important is it is his top issue so far. And the reason it is his top issue is because take a look at the individual nuggets in here. Why are people approving of Trump on immigration, approve of these different immigration actions, while Trump's administration's program to deport those here illegally. Look at this, 54% approval. How about agents searching your hometown for those that they think are here illegally? Again, positive territory here, above 50% for Donald Trump. So it's not just on the broad issue of immigration where Trump is doing well. It's on the specifics. When you dive into the issues, Trump is above 50% and his actions are above 50%, at least with those most directly connected to what's going on right now out in Los Angeles.
So Donald Trump, the president, picking a fight on this, and to an extent, you see Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass, a Democrat, and the California Governor Gavin Newsom pushing back. So what do voters see in terms of their perceptions of Republicans, the president, or Democrats, say Gavin Newsom, on this issue?
Yeah, the American electorate believe that the Democrats don't have a clue on the issue of immigration. I mean, you could just take it here. Closer to trust more in immigration, Democrats versus Republicans. Got 3 different polls for you across the board. They all tell the same story. Republicans lead on the issue of immigration. You see it here, CBS +6. You see it here, CNN +6. You see it here, Ipsos, even bigger, +19.
You just can't make
no
this
matter
up.
what poll you look at, no matter which way you cut it.
We know how the fake news media polls are. So this is a huge win. This is a huge win.
The American public is with the Republicans. The American public is with Donald Trump, and to a much greater extent than they were in term number 1. And it's not just on the broad issue of immigration, it's on the specifics as well, in which the American public is with Donald Trump and the Republicans. And that is why Donald Trump is eager to take on this fight and eager for those scenes out of Los Angeles.
I was just going to use that word, eager. This explains some of that eagerness to push forward ever more on this. As
They had to come out with this as all these riots were taking place, and as dumpster fire in California was burning, it continues to burn down to the ground as people protest on this topic right here. They had to come out with this, he's skyrocketing. As protesters was hitting the streets over ICE raids, they had to. Do you understand? Like, man, they had to do this after the ICE raids were going. ICE raid protests were going on in California, in Los Angeles, and they about to put that governor and mayor in handcuffs and walk both of them out. Gavin Newsom, that Bass lady, what ain't your mama? They ought to walk ain't your mama out. But Pelosi, and then look, she just all over the internet, a complete scandal, one of the biggest scandals. There's a whole bunch of scandals with these Democrats, inside jobs, couldn't beat their opponent fair and square, all these plots against President Trump. Come to find out, we knew what happened about the National Guard. We know about J6. Oh, we know.
We have responsibility, Terry. We did not have any accountability for what was going on there, and we should have. This is ridiculous. You're going to ask me in the middle of the thing.
Put this heifer in handcuffs. Put this heifer in handcuffs. She should have been in handcuffs, walked out a long time ago. I ain't lying. And then you got, inside.
I wanted to ask you why you
inside trading
and your husband back in March of 2008 accepted and participated in a very large IPO deal from Visa.
Look at her
face.
At
the time, there was major legislation affecting the credit card companies making its way through the House. And did you consider that to be a conflict of interest?
I don't know what your point is of your question. Is there some point that you want to make with that?
Well, I guess what I'm asking is, do you think it's all right for a speaker to accept a very preferential and favorable stock deal?
Well, we didn't.
You participated in the IPO.
Well, I have many
and at the time you were
investments, but
Speaker of the House. You don't think it was a conflict of interest or had the appearance of a conflict of interest?
It only has the appearance if you...
Look at the, this the body language, the reaction. Look at the tone. They should have walked this up out a long time ago.
Decide that you're going to have elaborate on a false premise, but it's not true. And that's that.
Now, we know what the truth is, ma'am. They should have walked this stuff out a long time ago. Long time ago. But here you go with your hypocrites. As you can see, you know, you just can't make this up. And people are posting this video everywhere, you know, for Trump's No King's Day Day protest. You know, once again, Democrats coming out. They basically endorse what President Trump has been talking about for a very long time, and his policies and what he's ran on and what he's doing right now. You know, but now all of a sudden he's the big bad orange man, threat to democracy, Hitler, dictator on day one. King, he's the king. He wants to be king. He has too much power. You just these people here, man. But what do y'all think of this? Let me know. I love y'all. Y'all have an amazing rest of your week. I will catch y'all in the next one. Peace and love, family.